Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Justy.
And together we're losing it.
We both lost over 100 pounds by developing healthy habits.
And I also had weight loss surgery and used a GLP-1 medication.
And I used a GLP-1 medication and had skin removal surgery.
We're really passionate about helping people learn to live a healthy lifestyle by sharing our experiences.
But we're not doctors, so if you have questions, reach out to your medical team. And you may see our mascot Sancho pop up from time to time.
And all three of us hope that you find our content useful.
Welcome back, friends. It is the end of 2024, and we need to actually, which we didn't talk about this one, Jesse, we need to close out our 2024 goals, and then we'll do a quick kind of recap on those, but we've been given some thought. Actually, it's been over like the last month or so that we've given thought to like what is our 2025 goals going to be. So we're going to kind of air that out, hash it out here with you guys, but it's important. I know we've talked about it before. We get on here quarterly and talk about our goals, but honestly, it's what keeps us on track. We are business women. We have goals for our businesses, and I mean, if you can run $1 million companies, then you can also make goals for yourself. What's more important than ourselves, right? So, and I'll tell you, we're very different in our goals. Justy has like pretty much crushed all of her goals, and I'm like squeaking by with mine, and that's okay. I've pivoted. I've had to make changes. I've missed the mark on some of them, but at the end of the day, I'm still here to talk about it. And I've excelled in other areas. It's not always going to be a home run. Last year, we home runned. I think we both home runned everything.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And this year just kind of sidebarred for me, and that's okay. It's honestly not that, it's not the end of the world, but it just makes you kind of really think through. But a lot can happen in 365 days. So what sounded good in the beginning of the year wasn't exactly how I ended the year.
And I
But
think
that's okay.
it's important that we do our quarterly checkups, and it's just like when we're having cravings or when we're, trying to make excuses for this or that or the other, it's like evaluating it and sitting here and talking to yourself through it. And so these checkups are really good to be like, okay, where did I miss? Where could I have done better? Where will I do better moving forward? How will I modify things? And so it's all just about continuing to improve yourself and work towards something. And I think in that aspect, we have both crushed it.
Yep. So I'm going to say, excuse me. So our joint goal was to discuss self-care bi-weekly. And for the bi-weekly podcast, we mostly did that.
Yeah.
I know that just having done that every time we recorded has made me more aware of like that things that I should be doing.
And the only time we haven't done it is when we've had guests on.
Right.
Because it's weird to talk about your shit when there's a guest. So yeah.
Our weight goals was excuse me, within 10-pound range of our goal weight, 165 for me, 185 for you. I'm actually 15 to 20 pounds over that, but I have been maintaining in that like 80-ish range for a long ass time. And I think that's where my body wants to be, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and I was 186 when I left for my surgery, and so that's within my range. I mean, 1 pound over. I probably just needed to go to the bathroom or something. But and right now, I think I was 204 today. Still dealing with some swelling and some weight fluctuation with that. For the last 2 months, I haven't worked out, and I've been in a, I guess, apparently a slight calorie surplus because I've gained a little bit of weight. So I feel good about that. I know
I didn't realize you were 186. I don't know why I thought it was more than that.
No, I was 186.
Yeah,
when I got to Mexico, I was like 203 on their
Mhm.
scale, but that was after flying and you know how all that
Right.
is. But when I,
Right.
on my scale in my house, I was 196. And then,
196. Yeah, you said
yeah.
186. That's why I was
Oh,
like, huh,
shit.
interesting.
Sorry. Yeah, no,
Yeah, I'm like, I
196.
really thought it was in the mid 190s, but I don't know. I'm not
Yeah,
there when you weigh
no,
yourself.
196. I do
I
apologize.
know we would send each other screenshots back and forth
Right.
for a while, but I was like, interesting. She lost a lot.
No. So 196 and you know, I know within the next, you know, month or so I should be back into Wonderland. I'm not really stressed out about it. So
Right,
but
right,
that's
right,
my goal. I mean, that's kind of where I want to stay between 185 and 195. I feel really good.
right. And then our activity goal, which I definitely shit the bed on this one, but um, you had intentional walk 24 miles a month, and I had run 24 miles a month,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of stopped running.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was overdoing it, and then I put this goal on myself, and then I was like, I don't wanna.
Mm-hmm.
But I flipped it, and I started weight training more, which I
Mm-hmm.
really, really started to like. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that pivot. While I didn't do the 24 miles a month, I would then occasionally, if I wasn't doing weight training, I would walk,
Mm-hmm.
take my daughter to the park while she played, and I would walk or walking to the grocery store. Like I still did a lot of intentional walking, but I
Mm-hmm.
definitely did not do 24 miles a month for sure
I think
of
I
running.
did. I mean, I didn't track it mile per mile, but if I think about just all the activity that I've done with, I mean, every Saturday I would, you know, walk to Uptown. That would be like a 5 mile round trip, you know, alone. So
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure I hit that and probably exceeded that. Started doing walking on the treadmill as well after my lighter classes, like my yoga and that sort of thing on my active, I guess those are called active rest days. So yeah, I feel really good about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so pivot and I think you that because you would tell me like, oh, I walked Sancho a mile today or whatever. So
yeah,
I think you hit that one.
yeah.
And then personal goals, I had work on a cookbook. Jesse had become a certified personal trainer, and um I didn't say publish a cookbook because I didn't do that, but I did do some work. I did took a little bit of work towards some things that I want to do with it. But then life took a huge pivot for me, and I started a meal prep business, and that kind of consumed some of my time. But with that comes writing recipes. So they're all recipes that will be part of this cookbook. So I guess
Yeah.
it's still working on it, just not in the way that I had intended, I guess.
Yep.
But that's
And
getting rid
my
of the all or nothing thinking. It doesn't have to be what I thought it was going to be. It is what it
right.
is, and it's
It is
still
what it
working
is.
towards it.
And mine was to become a certified personal trainer. And I didn't start my classes until I had my skin removal surgery. So back in like September is when I signed up. Because I wanted to do that while I was down. And so I got that done. I've gone through all the courses. I scheduled the test. It was actually supposed to be for tomorrow, but I end up having to go to Florida for Christmas with my grandbaby. And I'm a lot of stuff I got to do down there. So I moved the test to the end of January. So I will be taking it. I'm pretty sure I'll pass it. So I will have completed that goal.
Yep. So very close to that. And then our last goal for both of us, a financial one, was that you were going to work on replacing the money spent on skin removal, and I was going to start saving for skin removal. And that's a hard no for me. I didn't save a dime towards skin removal.
And I had my second round of skin removal, and I have been able to, you know, save quite a bit of money towards my replenishing that fund. So not all of it because I had saved, well, you know, I spent 20,000 on my first surgery and then I saved the majority of that and then I spent another 15 on my second surgery. So getting the rest of that saved. But I haven't, yeah, I feel like I'm at a good place with that. I'm not going to get into my financials, but I feel like I'm in a good place with that.
Yeah, and same, but I know that that was probably the least, like I put the least focus on that
Yeah.
one
I
because I
just,
was
you
so
know,
focused everywhere else.
yeah, it helped me reduce my spending having that goal because I was, you know, when you get your skin removed, you have to buy new clothes and everything fits you. And so you have to be cute. And
Right.
so I did spend quite a bit of money at the beginning of my first skin removal. And then when I got to middle of the year, I'm like, bitch, you don't need any more clothes. You're gonna have another skin removal, and you already have
Hmm.
outfits in there that you haven't even worn. So just stop. So, there's that.
All right. Well, that is it for last year's goals.
Mhm.
So looking at 2025, we didn't do this quite the same way where we each had like a personal goal, a financial goal, this goal, that goal. We just worked independently on like because while we're a lot the same, we're still a lot different. And like
Mhm.
we just have different lifestyles, and whatnot. And so we're gonna have different goals. So this year we just kind of like thought through it and then thought we'd come on here and talk about it. So I'm just gonna kick off the one thing that we did have in common. We both said that we want to, and we didn't talk about, well, we talked about it right before we started recording, but before today, we hadn't talked about this.
Mhm.
And the one thing we did have in common was gain muscle, lose fat. So this year, one thing that this year taught me, because I did switch over to,
It's weird. Sorry. Your voice is weird.
I don't know,
There you go. You're back.
am I back? Okay.
Uh-huh.
So gain muscle, lose fat. That's the one goal that we have in common. And um, one thing that this year taught me was when I switched over kind of like to the strength training thing, that it's the gaining muscle that helps you to lose the fat.
Mhm.
And there's something very powerful behind doing the strength training
It's
that we
strong.
do. And I
Mhm.
love it.
Mhm.
And so I feel like that's something, and I did my first body scan this year, then I did a botched body scan after that. So I'm gonna do one to close this year out. Justy just did one today, and then we'll have something kind of fresh to start 2025 with and see if we can grow from there. So that's gonna be
Yeah.
we'll have, I mean, that's true data
Uh-huh.
for us to track. It's not subjective at all. It's gonna be right there in black and white for us. We know how to do them properly now because I didn't do it properly the last time. And we'll have like a start point and an end point for the end of the year. So
And
that is
I'm
one.
gonna do mine at least every quarter, but they suggest to do it every 6 to 8 weeks. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna do that. So yeah, and we're not setting any huge numbers on. It's just gain
Yeah,
muscle, lose fat. So
right.
right now, say I'm at 70%, whatever. I want to be more than that or
71,
less,
right. Yeah,
depending.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so then I'm just gonna dip into one of my next ones, which is sort of related. And I something I watched Justy go through this year is getting into more stretching because I've noticed that anytime I did a stretch class, I'm not as flexible as I would like to be. And I know that I can improve there. So I really like doing like if I did like a Pilates or a yoga or something like that. I like doing them. I just don't do enough of them. So I think I want to try to incorporate like maybe I don't want to give that a number either. I just want to do it more because I would say in the last year I could count on one hand,
Mm-hmm.
probably five or six maybe total. If anything, maybe six. I did one with you in Charlotte, and I've done excuse me a couple at my gym. So any number higher than that is getting more of them done. But I would like to. I'm gonna say possibly do one every week or every other week or so. So we'll say like maybe two a month is at a minimum.
And it's
But I
it's
would,
made a really big change in my life, like my
Mhm.
physical activity. Because if you go all in one direction, all cardio, all strength, all this, all that, it's just like food, right? It's not,
Right,
you gotta have balance. And so
right.
I do a Pilates class each week, which gets me all those little core muscles, right? That hits that and a lot of your glutes and that sort of thing. And then I do a deep stretch, which really gets you deeply stretched. We go through the whole body. It's a 45-minute class. And then I do a balance class because as we go older, it's
Mm,
important that you can like stand on one foot and bend over and touch your toes, right? And
right.
so, and get up and down on the ground and, do all the things. And so, yeah, those classes are not the justy, like, exciting music, pump it up, get going, classes, but they've made a huge difference. I couldn't sit crisscross applesauce at the beginning of the year and now I can. So
And
little things like that are very important as we get older.
and that's also a good thing for the days when I can't get to the gym for one reason or
Yeah.
another. I can always throw a YouTube one on or something like that. So
Yeah, or there's
I
the
could
I
certainly
have
do that.
the I have the Liz
Oh,
Mills
the
and you can
Mills.
log in
Yep.
there and yeah.
Yep.
So
So that's that for me. Did you have anything else that's kind of like
yeah, so
workout
for
related?
my workout related is going to be last year I did a lot of walking and but this year because I have something I really want to do that we'll talk about at a later time, but I really 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 want to do it. I'm gonna do it even though people tell me I shouldn't. I'm gonna. But I need to start to
No, who
increase.
told you shouldn't? I might laugh a little when you say it, but I'm not saying you shouldn't.
Oh, Miss Linda is like against it. You know, my
Well, she
kids are
doesn't
against
think that
it.
you should walk to the corner store. So,
This is true. So anyway, so I'll just say I want to hike. I want to through hike the Appalachian Trail in 2027. So I want to do that starting in March of 2027. Take 6 months off work and just do it. So I'm planning it. I'm trying to find sponsors, that sort of thing. I've got a few already, so I feel like we're on a good track. And I want to do it to bring awareness to morbid obesity is my goal. So I got to figure out that element of it. But anyway, I need to start now because it's 2 years from now, but it is no fucking joke. It's like hiking
a lot
Mount
of
Everest
planning. Yeah.
6 times, right? And it's a lot of planning with food and nutrition and a lot of stuff. So I want to just simply work on elevation. So whether it's doing and it's a focus, not a goal. So focus on elevation. So when I am doing the treadmill, very, very inclined or the stair stepper, and then focus on my physical activity, like my outdoor activity, hiking. Like just, I want to go hiking as much as I can
Find
this year.
elevation. Yeah.
Yeah, to kind of really build up that muscle memory in my leggy legs. So that's my focus.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have four goals total. My next two are the opposite of all of that. And it's another thing that 2024 has taught me is that I really need to slow down some because I went 100 miles an hour this year. And one of them is going to sleep earlier. I did really well the year prior at being in bed by midnight. That was kind of my goal. I'm different from Jesse. Jesse likes to be in bed earlier. And my goal was to be in bed by midnight. And then I started letting that slide and it somehow turned into like 1 a.m. So my husband works mostly nights now and he, goes in at like noon and he'll get home at like 10:30, 11. And then by the time he gets home, then we want to spend time together. Next thing you know, it's 1 a.m. And then he stays up even later because he doesn't have to get up early in the morning. He'll get up, he'll take our daughter to school, and then he'll come back and he'll lay down. And I can't come back and lay down. I have to work. So
Mm-hmm.
I keep catching myself less and less sleep. And I need more sleep than he does. That's how I'm built. I need my sleep. I need my 7 hours is my goal. Um, and I've not been getting that. I've been getting 5 to 6, and I think it's starting to affect me. So
Yeah, because you have a cold. And
there's
you hurt
that. Yeah,
yourself, you hurt your muscle because your
I
muscles are
did.
tired. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the universe
Well,
telling
I hurt myself because I slipped on ice like an asshole.
you.
But yes, I have to treat my body better, and part of that is getting the sleep that I need. Jussie and I both know we're in our perimenopause, right? And it's
Mhm.
not getting any better for us. And that's one of the things, it's just one of the things that I know that I need. I'm not getting any younger, and I'm gonna need to get this sleep in. And so I can do it. I can do a night here or there, but it's been on the regular, and it's not good for me, and I know
Yeah.
that. So I got to
Yeah.
correct it. So if I don't speak it into existence, it's not going to happen. So I was doing really well with
So
like, okay,
when you send me funny reels and memes and stuff at like 1 a.m., I'm gonna be like, Steph, you should have been
right,
sleeping. Because
right,
I'll respond
exactly.
to her at like 5 when I wake up. Because
Right.
I'm
My
like in
phone's on do
bed.
not disturb, so I don't even see it till I get up anyway. But
I'm in bed by
um,
like 9 or 9:30 every night. And then
right.
so it's literally right now past my bedtime. But
And it would be different for me if I wasn't married to a night owl. I would be right there with you, but I'm so
right.
conditioned to it at this point. But when he worked earlier, had a job where he worked early shifts, he went to bed earlier and got up earlier, and then
Mhm.
so did I. But because
Yeah.
I have that job, I have a stay-at-home job where I don't start till 8, 9 o'clock. I have the flexibility that I could do either. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I have to
Mhm.
stop this. I have to stop the madness and I just need to take my ass to bed. So midnight, I'm gonna be like Cinderella and I'm gonna turn into a pumpkin come
Okay.
midnight. So
All right. I'll hold you to that. And
okay.
my next goal is, I got my personal training certification, and my next thing I want to do. So the year before was getting my body pump certification, and then my personal training. Now I want to do like a nutrition certification of some sort, and I haven't figured out which one I want to do, but I'm trying to build up my certifications for so that I could do something in health and fitness once I retire, right?
Like your
So
coaching type of thing where
yeah,
you're like the whole package.
it's either going to be doing something in health and fitness because I won't need at that point I won't have to make the amount of money that I make or, really worry in that aspect and do it for those reasons. Like what I work now is because I want to make money. I want to do something that's more close to my heart and make money doing it, but it won't be as much of a necessity. So I feel like it can be a little risky at that point in a few years. So I'm trying to build my certifications now so that when I am ready, I at least have some, letters behind my name.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Some knowledge. Yeah.
And it would be, I feel like you would, not that you're not already the whole package, but you would be the whole package in that sense when it comes to like coaching, where you can give the nutrition advice and you can also give the workout advice too.
Right. And
So I think that's,
I specifically wanted, help morbidly obese people. But yeah, so that I think nutrition is a big part of that. So
it
there
sure
we go.
is. That's the biggest part of that. So yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then my last one, kind of following the trend of going to sleep earlier, is scheduling downtime. And it's funny because if Isaac was here right now, he would probably like his head would be cocked to the side because he always tells me, Steph, like slow the fuck down. Like he's like, you gotta slow down. You gotta, what are you doing today? And I'm like, oh, I was gonna do this, this, or this. And he's like, why don't you just relax? I'm like, cause I don't want to. Like I
Hmm.
feel I don't I feel like I have to be doing something all the time. And I don't know why I am that way, but I just like to stay busy. I don't know why, but I do.
I'm that way too, and you exhaust me. Like I'm that way too. I mean, I exhaust Miss Linda. When she came down to take care of me with my surgery, she's like, Jesus, you had surgery. And you're doing all this stuff. I'm like, oh, this is nothing compared to
Yeah,
normal.
right? Shit.
Yeah.
So yes, and I know this about myself, but I'm starting to feel it now. So
Mhm.
that's where I'm like tonight I didn't have no child, no husband. I had nothing planned except for recording a podcast, which to me, while I'm doing something, this is downtime because I'm like here. And so I've been in this seat for a little while now, and that's kind of keeping me from being like, shoot, 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 I'm upstairs, downstairs, over here, this, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. So I'm going to schedule some like weekly downtime. I need to actually physically, I joined in Barry Nation, and this is what made me think of it. Whitney did Set It Up Sunday in Barry Nation, where there's somebody leads it, and she led it this past Sunday, and I joined in and got to like they have you like sit there and write out a plan for the week of things that you want to do. Maybe it's classes you want to attend, maybe it's just things that you have to do, like set up your week. Take that hour and set up your Sunday. Set up your week on Sunday. So set it up Sunday. And as I was writing that out, I was like, I really and talking about the holidays and everything, like everybody's so busy with the holidays. What are you doing to like relax? And I was like, shit, what am I doing to relax? I don't know. So it really made me think about it. I was like, I should really start planning some downtime. So I'm going to start planning weekly downtime. I don't know how much, I'm not assigning a number to it, but I've never planned downtime before. I've planned all the other things, but never downtime. So
And I think so. I was gonna have mine be teach a regular class. I can teach regular classes with my body pump and when I get my personal training certification, but a lot of places they are make you do like two a week, and I just can't commit to that because I have a whole ass business. So I don't think that's doable. Maybe it is, but I think honestly, and this is really hard for me to say, I feel like I think my goal this year is going to be to do monthly counseling. because I have done it before. I've only gone like twice, and she told me I need counseling. I was like, okay. I don't, because I really, 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 really want to find a partner in my life. And for whatever reason, that just has not happened. And it's kind of, I'm picky, and I've been hurt, really hurt deeply in the past, and I protect myself. And so I put up this wall, and then I'm not approachable or whatever, or I'm intimidating, like all these things, right? And so I just want to have someone help me work through that, because I don't want to change who I am, but I want to understand how I can be a little more approachable, or I can be a little more open, or a little less guarded.
This reminds me of, and I know you've seen every episode of Sex and the City as well, but it reminds me of the one episode when Charlotte is trying to find somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and so they went to this, like, I don't know, a seminar thing, and they're sitting there, and the lady's like up on stage, she's like, you really just have to put yourself out there. You just got to put yourself out there. And Charlotte raises her hand. She's like, but I have put myself out there. Da, 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 da. And the person's like, no, I don't think you're really putting yourself out there. And Carrie's like, excuse me. She like takes the microphone. She's like, my friend has put herself out there. You can't tell me and like they're going off on it. And that's totally what it makes me think about. Cause I'm like, yes, you have
Well,
tried,
yeah,
but I've
I
seen
have.
the
And
shit that you've dealt with at the same time. And I'm just like, God. So for
it's
every like,
comical.
right, for
It's
every dumb
comical at
thing my
this point.
husband does, I'm just like, well, I don't know. That's the alternative. So I'm not
Well,
sure
and this is
which.
the thing, and it's like I'm a humble person, right? But I think I'm a good catch, and I don't understand. I don't think I'm God's gift. I don't think I'm perfect, but I think I'm a good human. I know I'm a good human. I know
Right,
that. And
right.
I am hardworking, and I'm successful, and I'm fucking funny as shit. I'm not a bad looking girl. And what is wrong? There has to be something I'm projecting to
Right.
these men that it turns them off. Or, and quite frankly, I mean, you and I have talked about this. Don't I have I'm not a male hater. I get the ick real quick, right? Like I
Right.
just like, oh
You just don't
no.
have a tolerance.
I
Yeah.
just don't have a tolerance for bullshit. And as soon as I hear a bullshit, I'm like, I gotta go. Like I
Yes
can't
and
do this.
no, unless you're fully invested. Because when you're
Hmm.
invested, I've seen you ride
Oh.
that wave further than you need to ride it. Like you almost moved to Costa Rica, so there's that.
But it's kind of like it's yes, like I'm a very loyal person, like really, really loyal. And I'm not, a cheater or anything like that. Um, and I'm loving, and I'm caring, and I'm compassionate. Like I have all that in me, but I'm not just giving that shit to anybody.
Right.
And
Because then you meet it and you find somebody and you open up and then you find
and
out they
then
have a whole nother fucking
they've
life. And all these
right,
girlfriends come out of the woodworks telling you about,
right,
oh, I was engaged to him.
right.
I,
It's
I
like,
just saw
what
him
are you
last weekend,
doing?
and we're like, what the actual hell?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's comical when you think about it, but honestly, there has to be something wrong with my picker, or there has to be something wrong with what I'm projecting, or what I'm attracting, or there's something
Right.
that I want to figure out, because I deserve to have a partner in my life. And um you know yeah, I deserve to have a partner in my life. And I don't want just any partner though. And that's the
Right.
thing. It's like I'm not going to settle, but there has to be a balance there. So yeah, I'm going to go to counseling once a month and try to figure this shit out. And
I like it.
we'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
know what? There's nothing even, first of all, the person who told you that you don't need counseling after you showed up to them, like shame on them, find somebody else. Because even if you're just,
Right.
listen, I'm trying to pay you to help you talk. Everybody
I
could
just
use
need someone
counseling.
to
There's not a
talk
soul out
to.
there who can't use it. Yes.
It's really hard for me because the majority of the people in my life that I deal with on a daily basis are my employees. I can't
Hmm.
talk to them,
Right.
right? Or my business partners. Really
And
can't
then
talk to
there's me,
them.
and I just go
Like,
along with whatever you
I'm
say.
not
So
talking to
there's that.
Frank about this, right?
Right.
So then there's you, and there's Candace, and there's, Pippa, but it's like, but y'all are my girlfriends, and you love me, right? And
We're gonna agree with everything
you
you
think
say. Right.
I'm the total
Yes.
package too. So
Yes.
if you were a guy, you would date me. So
Yes.
that's hard. And so I just need an objective person to be like, okay, you are a prickly cactus, or you do have too high of standards, or that isn't reasonable that you don't like him because of the shape of his thumbs. Like whatever,
This is
whatever,
a true story. Right.
right? But it's that trust in myself, because when I do have that connection with somebody where I'm like, ooh, like really attracted to somebody, they're usually real bad. And so I don't
Right,
trust it. You know what I mean?
right, right.
So yeah. Anyway.
No, I think that's good. And either way, it can't be bad for you.
Right. Yeah.
And if
So I'm
it
gonna find a
and listen,
counselor.
I've heard many people excuse me, I've heard many people say it that it's taken them 5 or 6 go rounds with different counselors to find the right one. And I
Yeah.
know I've had to fire mine a few times when I was doing therapy and stuff. Like I was like, this is not the right person for me because you have to feel, well, shit, if your picker's bad, this might not be a good
My
option for you
pick
either.
my
But
picker's bad.
if you don't feel like you're getting what you need out of it, you're pretty good at cutting people off. Just cut them off and find the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't settle for somebody who's because I settled for somebody who like I went in and she would hand me like a packet and I'd fill the packet out and then I'd come back in the next week and we talk about that. And I'm paying you for me to fill out a packet and talk about what I wrote in a packet.
Right.
This ain't it for me.
Right. Yeah.
So
So
yeah, make sure you're getting what you want out of it and don't let someone tell you don't need it. Like, well, if I'm
yeah.
here, then clearly I need something.
Right. Like clearly.
Oh, excuse me.
Um, so yeah, that's it. I think that's the kind of one that I just made up, but I feel good about it.
Yeah, I like it. I like that
Yeah,
for you.
I like it.
Okay.
Because
Well, now
Beth
we need
wants to
to
be a bridesmaid.
yeah. Yeah, I need to be a bridesmaid, damn it. She said I could pick my own dress out. Meanwhile, I eloped in Vegas and
Right,
told
bitch.
her and
Right?
she's like, I could have married you. I'm what are you ordained or whatever?
Ordained.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, oh well. We almost had Elvis marry us, but you know.
I want Dolly to marry me, Dolly
Oh,
Parton,
that'd be great. Yeah,
or an
that'll work.
impersonator of Dolly Parton. But anyway,
Okay.
see, find a man that's down with that.
Right, exactly. Best of luck.
Anyway.
But yeah, so that's our goals. It is important if you don't have goals. So this is going to air on December 31st.
New Year's Eve.
So it's not too late. Listen, January 31st, it's not too late.
July
July
31st is
31st,
not
it's
too
not
late.
too late. It's never too late to put a plan into action. We are all about not waiting for Monday, not waiting for January 1st, and then not saying, well, I missed January 1st. Like, fuck all of that. Put all of that out of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get the idea to do something, just do it.
Do it.
That's how we are.
Do
I
it.
mean, we get the idea, we just do it. I'm like,
That's
hey,
how
I feel
I've
like I
been
want
to,
to come visit you. And then
yeah.
next thing you know, I'm in my car.
And that's how I've been to so many countries. It's like, oh, well, my sister and I was going to Amsterdam. Oh, let me come with you. Okay, do it.
Right,
Buy the ticket.
exactly.
Done. Like,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
like, who wants to come on a vacation with me? Who has a passport and some money? Jesse's like me. And that's how
Hey,
our friendship
just do it.
started.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you just have to like, just trust yourself enough to know that like, don't wait for the next time. Don't wait for a better time. Just if you feel it in yourself, like, you know what? These girls are right. They're setting these goals. We crush some, we don't crush some, but either way, we have a path.
Right.
Make yourself a path whether you crush it or not, make yourself that path and give yourself something to work towards because otherwise you're just out there like flailing around like I don't
Flailing.
know why this isn't working for me. Like
Yeah,
it's never going to work if you don't have a plan.
right.
Let me get off my
Absolutely.
soapbox.
So, yep. So that's it. We're gonna put those in writing, put those on our Instagram,
Yep.
and try to crush another year. I can't believe it's 2025.
Jesus Christ, I know.
It was just 2000.
Right.
It literally was just 2000, and now it's 25 years later. Like
Right.
we were just in our 20s,
I
early
called
30s.
I had to call the bank for something. And they were like, "Thank you for being a loyal customer of Bank of America for 25 years." And I was like, "Whoa,
Ugh.
whoa. I've had my
Anyway,
account since I was 3."
listen, we are still rocking it though for 48-year-old women.
Absolutely.
We're out here killing it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So let's toot our horns. But yeah, I think 2025 is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I have a
It,
good
it is what you
feeling.
make of it, honestly.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I have
I've
such
had
a
ups and
good
I've had
feeling
downs
about
in
it.
24, and either way, you know,
Yeah, I have
it's a,
such a good feeling about it. And you know how I am with my feelings. And I just really feel like, the weight loss is behind me. I've been in maintenance now. I feel confident that I can do this. I actually have fallen in love with my scars. I finished my skin removal surgeries. Like I just feel really good. My career is really good. I date myself. I feel good. And it's like,
Right.
you know, yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this year and, finding more people to enjoy my life with, because I have put myself out there and I have some friends and I joined a women's club and we do charity and stuff like that. And I've met some really good people. I'm just not going to be a recluse anymore because I feel
Right.
confident in my ability to maintain my
Right.
weight. So that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it. So,
Yeah.
and then you're stuck with me, so there's that,
All my shenanigans.
Yeah.
Well, you're always my bestie. So,
Right.
yeah, there's that. But
Well, happy New Year to everybody. And if you don't have
yay.
a plan, this is your sign to make a plan. And as always, our DMs are open.
Mhm.
Reach out if you're struggling to figure out what it is you want to do. We've been doing this for a long time. We can help guide you. We just take one, even if you just made one. We don't
Yeah.
call them resolutions. It's not a resolution. We're not resolving anything. We
Yeah.
are going in full force with like a plan. We've made a plan for our year. Set it up Sunday. This is set it up 2025. We're
Yep.
setting our
Yep.
year up. So same thing. Even if you just have one thing that you start with, maybe you make one thing to start with in January and maybe you add something each quarter. Maybe you're not ready to go full force like we do.
Mhm.
Make it your own. It doesn't have to be what we do or we've made four. You don't have to make four, make one now, make another one later. As you start to get the swing of it, maybe next year you'll be here making four of them with us. Who knows? But just do one. Take
Yeah.
one small step.
Yeah. Yep. I'm actually gonna have my managers kind of do the same thing. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, like, what are your goals for this year? What's your plan? How are we gonna get there? What are we gonna do?
yeah.
So I think it's good for everybody.
I agree. All
Yep.
right. Well, in honor of me making it to bed by midnight, I we need to wrap this up. It's
You're
already
right.
past
It
your
is
bedtime.
past my bedtime. So anyway, we will talk to you next year.
Yeah, talk to you next year. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.